Hey. I'm your humble host, Fizzhead Music, and this right here is Urban Politics. I want to thank you for coming into the world of urban politics today, where politics lives. Let's get right into it like a car in drive. There's all types of tasty politics to sink our teeth into. Starting with the man of the hour, Kyrie Irving. Refuses the vaccine, says it's not political, says it's a personal decision. CNN, oh my lord, excuse me, CNN had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on to say how he was acting responsible, or to talk about how he thought Kyrie Irving was acting irresponsible. Said that he should think about his team and the other players. Geraldo, you know that dude, he's always on Fox News or whatever. He's a conservative these days or whatever. Used to be an investigative reporter, whatever. He said that Kyrie Irving should be thinking about the investors of his team, the Brooklyn Nets. So that is what it is. The city of New York requires proof of vaccine for entry into indoor venues. This includes the Barclays Center, where the Brooklyn Nets play. He cannot play or practice with his team unless fully vaccinated. 95% of NBA players got the jab. 95%. So I guess that means that there is 5% who are holdouts. They're definitely going to get leaned on by that other 95%. Lo and behold, I'm sure they're going to go ahead and get the jab. This whole situation is interesting to me. It kind of puts me in the mind of Simone Biles. When things were going on with her and she felt like she needed to step away or step down because of her mental health, people wanted to come at her and make it all personal and stuff like that and act like she had some type of, a personal allegiance or something to this sport that she's involved in. When it's like, no, at the end of the day, it's about you as a person. You have to do what's right for you and yours. So Kyrie Irving, he's doing what's right for himself. And this is about him. He doesn't owe anybody anything but himself. Like he said, this is a personal issue. It's not political. That's what's up. We need to take the man at his word. If that's what he says, then you can believe that it's not political. It's a personal thing. He hasn't gotten it. He doesn't want it. It's interesting to me because I'm like, this is a whole lot of money that this guy is sacrificing, not getting, the jab, not getting the shot. So that is what it is. But I understand people have reasons for things that they do. There's a lot of information that's good and bad on both sides of this thing. It's the issue of the day, and it's a hot issue. It's a hot button issue, and people feel the ways that they feel about it. This is one of the first people I've seen that I think is sacrificing this much money, around not getting it. But, people have definitely been sacrificing their jobs. That is what it is. A lot of people are upset with him. Why? Kyrie Irving is a former Rookie of the Year, a 7-time All-Star, and a gold medalist for Team USA. But like I said, he said that this is bigger than the game. That's what he said, is bigger than the game. And then people were probably like, oh, what is some conspiracy stuff? And I don't think that's what it was. I think when he says it's bigger than the game, he's saying this is about me. I'm bigger than the game. I'm what's most important right now when it comes to me and my world. And for me and my world and my life, I don't think that I'm going to be getting the shot. Oh, well. We have to respect the man's wishes. It is what it is. But, he's still going to get the backlash as he's been getting it. People been coming for him. Like he owed the world of basketball something. He don't owe them nothing. He don't owe anybody nothing but himself. And if he feels like he needs to step away, by all means, sir, step away. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about a letter that came straight from the desk of Donald Trump. And he's urging Republicans not to vote until the fraud is taken care of. The fraud, quote unquote, is taken care of. Don't vote in 2022. Don't vote in 2024. That is hilarious. But it should scare the bejeebus out of the GOP. Because a lot of their base, what do? They listen to Donald Trump. And now he's telling them not to vote. And really, this just falls in with the whole thing of how I reported on the show a little while ago, how Michael Cohen had said that he doesn't think Trump will win again. I don't think he'd ever win again, and neither does he. And that's the reason Michael Cohen was saying that Trump would never run again. Said he couldn't stomach another loss. So he'll never make another run for it. And I agree. He'll never throw his hat in that ring again. He could not stomach losing again to whoever. So we're going with that lie that he's been perpetrating, that, talking about how he's going to run in 2024. Now he can say, no, I'm not going to run in 2024 because the voting is rigged. It's rigged against us conservative. It's rigged against us. So why would I run in a rigged election? And guess what? We shouldn't even vote. Don't vote in the midterms. Don't vote in this rigged election. Don't vote in these rigged midterms. We just won't vote. So that right there, like I said, that should scare Mitch McConnell. That should scare Kevin McCarthy. That should scare some of these buffoons a lot right there. Because what if a lot of that base doesn't vote? You're going to be hurt. A lot of these guys are going to be hurt, and the GOP looks good losing a whole lot of seats in the Senate, whole lot of seats in the House. Wouldn't that be something? Now, I'm not saying that could happen ultimately, and once again, what Trump says, it changes from day to day, doesn't it? So he just said this, but a little while ago, but it could be something different right now, even as I'm reporting on it. So we'll see where this goes, but I'll tell you right there, that should give some members of the GOP, that they should be concerned about that. That should give them pause to think that Donald Trump would actually put that out there, to his 74 million followers, to not vote in 2022, to not vote in 2024. That is crazy right there. But once again, if the GOP thinks that Donald Trump won't tank their whole party just to preserve his fragile ego, they have not been paying attention. Donald Trump don't give a damn about the GOP. He don't care about conservatism. He don't care about none of that. He cares about himself, right? And his own fragile ego and his narrative that he's painted and somehow selling that. So they better watch out for that. Hey, you dance with the devil don't change, the devil changes you. Moving on though, and here's another thing that makes this whole thing horrible. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they give him this relevance, right? So I want to talk about the feckless, no backbone having Senator Chuck Grassley accepted the endorsement of Donald Trump. He's disagreed with him on many occasions, saying he disagreed with his decisions on January 6th when Trump fired 2 inspector generals. When Trump claimed that wind turbines cause cancer, he called him an idiot. He said, I was born at night. Now this right here is a quote from Mr. Grassley, the feckless, no backbone having Mr. Grassley. I was born at night, not last night. So if I don't accept the endorsement of a person who has 91% of the Republican voters in Iowa, I wouldn't be too smart. I'm smart enough to accept the endorsement. That right there is sad. He just put it out there. Hey, this guy is popular. If he gonna say that he behind me, even though I think he's an idiot, even though I don't agree with what he did when he, kicked off an insurrection, even though I think that this guy is just a horrible, egregious person, doesn't belong in politics, he's getting behind me. He's giving me his support. So I'm going to take his endorsement because he's popular. How pathetic. How pathetic. He was just honest with his constituents today. This is politically expedient, so I'm going to do it. This is the safest and easiest thing to do, so I'm going to go ahead and take the road always traveled and take the endorsement of someone who I know ain't worth a quarter because you people like him. That's sad. You know what I'm saying? That is profiles and zero courage is what that is right there. I mean, come on, man. But that is pathetic. But I'll also want to talk about that because that is what gives Trump validity, right? That is the reason why when he tells the GOP base to not vote in 2022 and in 2024, they better pay attention because idiots like Chuck Grassley, and Kevin McCarthy and some of these other guys who can't wait to kiss the butt, the ring of Donald Trump, right? They've given him that validity. Ergo, he's running things over there, son. He's running things in that party. So it is what it is. And what it is a disgrace, and the person who wrote the article, they summed it up perfectly. They said the point is this: Trump's cult of personality within the GOP grows by the day. And now even skeptics like Grassley have jumped in with both feet. That does say it just as plain as day right there. You know what I'm saying? There was a time when Chuck Grassley at least was pushing back. He wasn't super outspoken, but at least he was a little outspoken. But then for him to put his tail between his legs and just go ahead and say, man, I'm going to go ahead and take the endorsement of a demon because when in hell, when in Rome, So I'm like, man, why would you claim to be a leader? Why are you a senator, sir? You're no type of leader. You're no type of man. I don't know how he walks without a backbone. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about... hold on. I want to come back to what I was just looking at. Let's talk about something else. I want to talk about the $600 tax rule. Yeah, what is that? Check it out. Experts say that the federal government loses $166 billion in revenue to tax evasion each year. This new rule would allow the government to monitor bank accounts with over $600. The move has sparked outrage amongst many Republicans who see it as a prime example of government overreach. Each year, a financial institution would have to report gross inflows and outflows with a breakdown of physical cash transactions and to and from accounts with the same owner. This would cover the cost of the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and they have been looking for ways to police tax evasion. Wealthier people would be impacted the most. This would tighten up reporting from business owners. At this time, they get to take advantage of some self-reporting measures that can increase tax avoidance. Republicans also cite problems the IRS has had with confidentiality. Also, it was reported that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, a couple of billionaires, paid very little in federal income tax. So that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from too. People know that a lot of these billionaires haven't been paying their fair share of taxes. People mad about that. The IRS has been looked at. People looking at them with the side eye like, man, why aren't you doing your job? Get up on your job. Now they're even talking about people coming at people with, as low as $600 in their account, which is like, wow. But you know what I'm saying? I guess this is a way to try and curtail, a lot of this tax, tax evasion that goes on. I guess they say it's commonplace. People cheating on their taxes, people make the jokes and talk about it all the time. I guess it's kind of commonplace because you see how the IRS has really gotten on it and they're like, yeah, we got to do something about this. This was interesting to me as well too, because they were saying that, Republicans have a problem with it because of the confidentiality issues with the IRS. They get people's information. A lot of times they have leaks. They have breaches. They said that hacking right now is a big thing. So a lot of these places get hacked and people's information ends up out there. So this is just interesting right here. And the fact they're going after, accounts as low as $600, that's the common man right there. Everybody watching this probably has $600 in their account, even if it's they're waiting to pay a bill or two, or something like that. $600 is not a lot of money. So they're definitely talking about scrutinizing the average American with this, which I don't know, could be good, could be bad. We'll see where it goes. Janet Yellen, she was saying that now really they'll just be putting some of these businesses under the same scrutiny that they put regular people like you or I under anyway right now. So we'll see where that goes, but that's interesting. That $600 tax rule, you'll hear about that. That's what's up with that. But think about that. $166 billion in revenue to tax evasion is lost each year, by the federal government. So that does hurt for sure. So I guess they definitely said they got to do something about that. I'm looking at my time, so before it draws up, let me go ahead and roll right into this. I got to go ahead and talk about another man of the hour, my dude, your dude, Dave Chappelle, the Dave Chappelle kerfuffle. He has gotten himself in quite the hot water lately, I guess you could say. Really, just doing his job. He's a comedian, my goodness, but it is what it is. You've heard about it, so I'm not going to go into depth about what it's about. If you want more information on it, you can definitely Google it. Google the name Daphne Dorman. Daphne Dorman and her family, because she ended up, committing suicide. And her and her family, after her death, they had said that she had never, and I'm paraphrasing all this. That's why I said you can look this stuff up if you want direct quotes. But her and her family basically had said that she never found Dave offensive, and said that he was never punching down because he never saw himself as better than. So right there, and I'm like, people really got to listen to the words. I always mess this word up posthumously, but basically the words coming from this woman's mouth after her death. Well, I guess these are things that she said actually before she died, because that, would not, giving away too much of the story. But like I said, please Google it and get the background on this yourself. That's what had happened. Her community, it kind of came at her because she had defended some jokes that Dave had made about her and about that community. And then that's when they quote unquote drug her, as the kids say, on the internet, and it led to her, committing suicide. So that is what it is. But then there was another transgender comedian who had brought up the fact that, like Dave said, that she was a part of his tribe because she was a comedian like him. And then this transgender person had brought up the point that, none of these other people who had drugged this other woman on the internet for coming to Dave's support, they had never gave her any business or, had her open up for any of their shows or anything like that, because that was another thing that Dave Chappelle did. He made sure that whenever he came, I think to San Francisco, he said it was, that he told this woman, you can open up for me every time I come here, and I'll just give you pointers or whatever and stuff like that. So that was huge because that is Dave Chappelle. You see what I'm saying? So they were saying that he obviously had love and respect for this woman, while she was alive, while it meant something. He gave her flowers while she was alive. Let her be an opening act on his show every time he came to that town. So that is what it is. In this whole situation, and that's the thing too. I'm not really critiquing it. I'm just reporting it because I not that I don't have a dog in this fight. I guess everybody has a dog in this fight because most people are fans of Dave Chappelle, and then there are a lot of people in that LGBTQ plus community. There's a lot of people in it. There's a lot of people that have family, people who are in it. There's a lot of allies out there, all types of stuff. So almost everybody, I guess, has a dog in the fight in that sense. But I say that only because I'm not a comedian and I'm not transgender. So the Dave Chappelle special, did I like it? Yes. Did I find it entertaining? Yes. Do I understand that jokes about a certain community can make people view people from that community as lesser, making it easier for them to commit harm and heinous acts towards people in that community? I get that as well. So I see both sides. See what I'm saying? So, hey, that's all I can say about that right there. But I do believe, this is just how I believe though, comedy is like music. No subject is off limits. There is no subject that's off limits. I have heard songs that were about crazy things that were just gut wrenching. There's another thing I want to talk about. Hold up. I'm thinking right now, there's a song by Outkast, Toiletisha, and that song is about a young girl. I think. I'm pretty sure I've heard the song a million times and I love it, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about a young lady giving herself an abortion with a hanger in the bathroom. That's whoa. But you know what? That's music. And that's something that they needed to talk about. And I'm sure, my God, that has happened. Thanks to that law that Texas done passed, it's probably going to happen a lot more in Texas. God forbid. But that's my point. You see what I'm saying? That's real life. And that was a song. That's like gut-wrenching. But guess what? It needed to be talked about. So I feel like comedy is like that too. If you want to talk about religion, if you want to talk about sex, if you want to talk about race, if you want to talk about anything you want to talk about, you should be able to do that, especially in the confines of comedy. How about this? I remember Chris Rock, I want to say it was at the Oscars, making jokes about lynching. He had said something about, I think that year, I might be all wrong on all this, but I'm going to go ahead here. I'm trying to do this from memory. I think it was the year where it was Oscars So White or something like that. And he was saying that it was refreshing to be living in a time for black folk anyway, where, you know, they're upset about the Oscars not nominating any black movies and Oscars So White. He said when, you know, back in the day, you know, we wasn't worried about this. He said it's hard to be worried about this when your grandmother is swinging from a tree outside. He's like, so it's good that these are our worries right now. And people laugh. I laugh right now. And here it is. This man was making a joke about lynching. Ain't nothing funny about that. But somehow Chris Rock, being the master he is of his craft, and the fact that it's comedy within the confines, and white people and black folk was laughing at that joke. And wow. But see what I'm saying? In the confines of comedy, you can do that. And I also feel like in the confines of music, you also can do that too. You can talk about anything. So with that said, like I said, I can see both sides of it. I really can. So you know what I'm saying? We're gonna see if I don't know what's gonna happen on that. You know, people going on and on and on about cancel culture. I guess I still go on record as saying I don't believe in cancel culture. I think cancel culture has always been a thing. Plenty of times you can say something or do something and people don't mess with you no more. That's not cancel culture, that's life. People get canceled all day, every day, don't they? You cancel things all the time. You know, there's some gas station you used to go to, you stop going there. Maybe the coffee is always cold. You go there in the morning for coffee and a muffin. You started going there one day and the coffee was always cold. Now you don't go there no more. Did you cancel that gas station? Nah, you just made a conscious decision to not mess with that gas station no more. You know, so things get canceled all day, every day. You just don't put it out there like that. You just canceled it in your mind. You know, you cancel friends all the time. Oh, such and such did such and such to me. Yeah, won't be messing with him or her the way I used to. You may not say it out your mouth, but you definitely say it with your actions, don't you? So there ain't no such thing as getting canceled. You know, people coming down on Dave right now. It's only boosted his popularity. People tripping that Netflix hasn't said that they're not going to play his shows. In the end of the day, still don't nothing move but the money. Rakim said that, and it'll always be that way. Still don't nothing move but the money. Them specials make too much money. You know, Dave Chappelle is a cash cow. He is that dude. He's hot right now. It is what it is. Netflix is not going to say no to a bunch of cash. They're making a bunch of cash. You know, especially all these specials. And then they've got these other specials that they paid them to do and stuff. So they're making money hand over foot. They're not gonna turn their back on a bunch of money for the LGBTQ community. It is what it is. Hey, what do you want? Morally bankrupt? Yeah, they said, well, we might be morally bankrupt, but we won't be bankrupt. Anyway, moving on. Last but not least, I got to get into my IPA of the week. And this is a doozy right here. This right here, this Never Better IPA. This is real nice by Coronado. DIPA, the Double Indian Pale Ale. So it's a double IPA, a DIPA. Look at that. It's a DIPA. Oh, man, and that right there is delicious. It's got some wording on here about how good and what it... I don't know if I could... It's so small. Brewed with a vibrant blend of Secret, Mosaic, and Centra. This double IPA is bursting with hot flavors of tropical mango, passion fruit, and resinous pine. Resinous pine. Wow, okay. One sip and you'll go from good to never better. Ooh, okay. Well, we'll see. Yes. I can say I have gone from good to never better. There it is. I'm Fizz Ed Music. This is Urban Politics. I want to thank you all for liking and subscribing. If you like what you just saw right there, please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend that they need to tell a friend to like and subscribe after they like and subscribe. That's what's up. That's what's good. That's what's good. See you around like a donut.